Hey guys, Henry here, and today we're going to be talking about the Netflix romantic comedy Always Be My Maybe, whether it's worth a watch, and my thoughts on the film. Always Be My Maybe was a directorial film debut of Nahnatchka Khan, who was the showrunner of Fresh Off the Boat for 5 seasons, and was written by Fresh Off the Boat actor Randall Park and comedian Ali Wong. Randall Park and Ali Wong also starred in the leading roles of the film. Always Be My Maybe has a fairly traditional premise of the rekindling of an old flame. It follows a pair of childhood sweethearts, Marcus played by Randall Park and Sasha played by Ali Wong, who grew up next door to each other in San Francisco and spent most of their youth together. They run into each other as adults after having gone down very separate paths in life after high school. The story is really sweet at its core and extremely genuine, but it isn't just a stock standard rom-com. Always Be My Maybe is an Asian love story, and the best part about it is that it doesn't necessarily use that fact that it's about Asians to progress the story. Rather, the Asian elements of the film enhance and enrich the world that the characters are in. Randall Park and Ali Wong kill it in their performances. They are both extremely capable and are able to control the comedic pace as well as dive deep into the more emotional and tender scenes. And the writing is just brilliant. The plot is smart and the dialogue is witty and funny. It didn't feel dragged out at all, and honestly I just had such a great time watching it. And being Asian myself, it was just so awesome seeing an Asian story be a mainstream hit and be executed so well. I want to go into more details that will have spoilers. So I will say now that Always Be My Maybe is most definitely worth a watch. So go ahead and watch it if you haven't, and then come back to the video. Anyway, continuing. Khan pays special attention to the Asian elements of the story by not trying to shove it down your throat, but have those elements be an essential part of the world. This is done in such a subtle way. For example, she has multiple instances of characters taking off their shoes before going into the house, a clear and deliberate choice. The opening scene has Sasha at home, all alone, making herself dinner, and then listening to a voicemail from her mum telling her not to watch TV, but she does so anyway. That literally was my childhood. The strained relationship between Sasha and her parents was also a sub-theme throughout the film, although they didn't really delve into it too much. And I think it would have been awesome if they did. But it did add a real depth to Sasha's character, and it is extremely relatable. Even Marcus and Sasha's counterparts are Asian. Sasha's fiance is a douchey, business-minded playboy played by Daniel Day Kim, and Marcus's girlfriend is a free spirit with dreadlocks played by Vivian Bang. They are not defined by being Asian. They have their own quirks and flaws that make them decent side characters on their own merit. Even the choice of Keanu Reeves playing an obnoxious version of himself as Sasha's new celebrity love interest is Asian American. All these Asian elements were just a part of the film. They didn't need an explanation. And that's what I loved so much about it. It is their reality. It is part of their world, and you don't need to take time to explain it. It just is what it is. If you know, you know. If you don't, maybe you learn something. Or if you don't pick up on those little things, it's no big deal. Another great quality about this film is that it's just not your typical rom-com. It hit all the classic rom-com beats, setting up the love interest, showing their somewhat disdain for each other, and then slowly falling for each other, and then eventually getting together. And this all happened by the end of the second act. And the third act was left to deal with the result of the two main characters actually getting together and their internal struggle. It was really cool to see the exploration of the post-supposed happy ending. The conflict and the struggle between the two characters is developed really well, and it's not quite clear who's in the right and who's in the wrong. Sasha wants Marcus to do more, to be more, while Marcus is content where he is. Sasha even offers to bring Marcus to New York with her, and pushes him to do more with his band. But Marcus initially feels that Sasha doesn't really respect him, and constantly wants him to be more, and is essentially not satisfied with the person Marcus is, which he feels is just a regular guy. And that is genuinely how relationships are. Both people feel like they're right, and they don't necessarily see the other's perspective. And often, it isn't even the case of being right. People have different values and priorities, and it's important to learn to compromise in order to move forward. Marcus goes to seek the guidance of his dad, and he realizes that the reason he's satisfied with being just a regular guy and not pursuing anything more is because of his own fear of failure, and that he projected those feelings onto Sasha and, in a sense, blamed her constant pushing of him to do more as the reason why they couldn't be together. It's through this realization that Marcus self-reflects and realizes that he needs to do more with himself, and not to mope around looking for excuses not to do more. I also want to praise the small details and abundance of callbacks laid throughout the film, such as a young Sasha making herself a spam musubi for dinner, and later she becomes a famous chef. Or Sasha learning to cut spring onions from Marcus's mum with scissors, the Korean way, and it's later shown that she's still cutting spring onions in the same way. Or cooking the budae jjigae, which was shown at the very beginning of the film, and later at the very end, which is the dish that Sasha cooks in honor of Marcus's mum, and many, many more small minor details. And this is just a great example of show don't tell, showing how characters were influenced by one another and not requiring a whole bunch of exposition. I really, really enjoyed Always Be My Maybe, and I'm so stoked to see that a movie of this level was written and made by Asians and stars Asians. It's just so inspiring to see this recent shift in the industry, and I can't wait to see this wave continue to grow. Thank you for watching the video. If you liked it, please be sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more content from me, be sure to hit that subscribe button. If you've seen Always Be My Maybe, let me know what you thought in the comment section down below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.